This is the 2026 Honda Odyssey EXL, and it's still a reliable and versatile minivan option. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I know there's been some videos out there that have shown the 26 Odyssey as being fully redesigned. Those are AI generated videos. As you can see on the window sticker, this is a 26 model, but that doesn't mean that it isn't something you should buy if you're in the market for a minivan for the 2026 model year. A lot of capabilities here. We're going to go over those details throughout the video. If you want to know more about this particular model that is for sale at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana, check out the link down in the description of the video. This is called Smoke Blue Pearl on the exterior. A very nice color. I think it looks really good out here on this particular vehicle. Has a gray interior, so it's not an all-black interior for those of you that are looking for something other than the all-black interiors. And you will find full LED lighting here on the front end with your LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and your LED fog lights. And Honda Sensing is going to be here. That's going to include several driving aids, safety features, adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure mitigation, and lane keeping assist. The Odyssey is only available in front-wheel drive, but for the versatility of the interior, I think that may be a good thing. Even though you can't get all-wheel drive with this model, there are some things you can get here that most competitors don't offer. 18-inch wheels in this particular case. We're going to have the manually folding side view mirrors with the body-colored mirror caps. Turn signal indicators built into the heated and power adjustable side view mirrors. Now you'll notice you don't have blind spot monitoring built into the side view mirrors. That doesn't mean it isn't here. It's just right here instead of in the side view mirror. Personally, I do think I'd rather have it in the mirror as opposed to this place right here, because my eyes are going to be more drawn to the mirror since I'm looking at that to see what's going on around me. Tell me what you think about that. Some people might say, no, I think that works for me. And here is your remote for 2026. Quite a bit here, including lock, unlock. You can open and close both power sliding side doors on the driver and passenger sides. Remote start. You can open your tailgate right there. And we also have our panic button right there. Nice large windows. The Odyssey is very easy to see out of. And we finish things off here on the rear with our LED taillights. The Odyssey and Honda logos prominently displayed. Overall, a very clean look. Now you do have the exposed rear window wiper. I know some people say that's not a problem. Some people say I'd better have it concealed away here in the rear roof spoiler. Under the hood is the naturally aspirated 3.5-liter Honda V6. It puts out 280 horsepower and 262 pounds-feet of torque. Now, if you've looked at the 2026 Honda Passport, this is not the same 3.5-liter engine that is in the Passport. So this is not the dual overhead cam engine, in case you were curious to know. That's going to be mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. How about your MPGs? 19 city, 28 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas for every 100 miles driven. Now, one thing that's a big advantage here, a lot of people like this, is that you have a 19.5 gallon gas tank. And how about this for some good information? On a single tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 370 miles in the city, 546 miles out on the highway, and combined about 429 miles. Max towing capacity comes in at 3,500 pounds, and you have three different options for opening your power tailgate, which is the button on the tailgate itself right above the license plate bracket that I just used, the button on the remote, and the button on the interior just to the left of the steering column in the front seat area. Now, a lot of versatility. As I mentioned earlier, it's all going to come down to this area right here. First of all, you have the stowing magic seats, but what happens is when you're not stowing the seats down here, which I will show you how to do in just a bit, you can use this area for storage. If you have something that's a little bit taller than what the roof line will allow for here that will fit in this area, well, you can use that and gain some extra height. And you do have the instructions here for your stowing magic seats. Pretty easy to deal with. All you're going to do is pull right there, and that side goes down pretty easily on its own. Sometimes I have to help this side when I'm doing this one-handed just a little bit, just like that. And it helps to make sure to lower the headrest so you don't have that problem that I just did. You will find your 12-volt power outlet right here, a little bit of storage, and more storage over here on the left-hand side, the upper and the lower cubbies right there. And you can see the nice air conditioning vents for your third row passengers, the cup holders, all of that's going to be there. But that's not the only versatility that we have here. And that versatility comes with the magic sliding seats. Now, what happens is you can remove the middle seat, which I have done. It's sitting right there. Actually, all three of these seats will come out. I'll show you what that looks like from another video I've done, but the middle seat, as far as this middle row goes, I'd say weighs about 30 to 40 pounds. These outboard seats, maybe about 70 pounds a piece, maybe a little bit more. But when you have that middle seat out, you have this release right here. In fact, let me get down here and show you the release. So what that allows me to do is I can slide those seats in like that and move things around a little bit, making things very easy to deal with. Obviously, you can take those out all the way and maximize cargo space. And here's the thing about that. Then you can haul whatever will fit within your space. You could outfit this minivan actually to be a work van. You could use it as a delivery van. A lot of potential options where that is concerned. And speaking of space, how much do we actually have in the way of cubic feet? We're looking at 38.6 to 91 to as much as 155.8 cubic feet. That is a lot of potential space to take advantage of. And one more note on versatility. Depending on the height of the ceiling where you are parking your Odyssey, you can change the height of the rear door. Now, if you need to lower it a little bit, for example, you can just pull it down and you hold this button down until you hear the beeps. That's why it says hold to set height right there. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm going to show you how well this works. And all you have to do to reset that is just move it back into whatever position it is that you need, whether you want to maximize it or decrease it, whatever the case is. But it's nice to have that kind of versatility in the event that you have a lower ceiling you have to deal with so you don't damage anything when you're opening and closing this power tailgate. To gain access to the third row, you pull on this lever and move the seat up and out of the way. Now, one of the big advantages here, I'm going to put the seat back in place, is that there is a release right here, and that allows for moving the seats back and forth, and that will actually increase or decrease, depending on which direction passengers choose to go, leg space for third row passengers. And one important note I want to make sure I cover: you can only move the outboard seats back and forth. As I just showed you with this seat, you can't actually adjust the seating position of this middle seat. Obviously, you can take it out if that's a problem, but just so you know, that's the situation. And as I mentioned earlier, there are our air conditioning vents. We also have some cup holders back here. And over here on the left-hand side, we'll also find another 12-volt power outlet. Quite a few different options for connectivity throughout the interior. The leg space back here isn't terrible, and this is with the seat all the way back. That's not too bad. But obviously that can be improved upon if needed. And to get back out, pretty easy. Just pull on that release and then move the seat out of the way. A couple of different ways to close the power sliding side doors. One is to push the button right there. You can also use the handle right there if you want to. We also have the shades that can be put in place on both windows. And I'm going to go over here and show you what happens when we lower the window down. Now, it doesn't go down all the way. You can see how close it comes, but not quite all the way. It is one touch, as you can see. And then the controls for the third zone of climate control are going to be right up here on the right-hand side in the roof area. We'll also find some cup holders and some connectivity options right there. And as far as additional cup holders go, let's see if I can do this one-handed. I'm not sure that I can. And there we go. I didn't do it one-handed, but there are the additional cup holders, a little bit of space behind that. Technically, this could be used as an armrest, but the problem is that it does sit pretty low. So for a lot of people, I don't know, you could put your elbow up there like that, but not going to be as high as it probably should be to be used as an armrest. But that helps to avoid having it protrude into the passenger space for the third row. And your front seat passengers will find plenty of room, not only with the armrests, but the upper and lower door bins. Going to have a cup holder built in right here. The only thing missing here as far as the adjustability and controls go for the passenger seat is the cannot raise and lower the height of the seat. However, you do have lumbar support. That means it's going to also be on the driver's side. Now, the driver's side, you can raise and lower the height of the seat. A lot of adjustability built in. We'll have our pass-through right here with more connectivity, a couple of USB options, and another 12-volt power outlet. There are 12-volt power outlets everywhere, a bag hanger right there, and our glove box to provide for additional storage. And this is the EXL trim level. It has a sticker price of $44,290. We'll see what else you get for that price. You'll find a sunglass holder with the conversation mirror, something we're not seeing in too many Honda models anymore. Tell Honda if you'd like to see that make a return, maybe in more vehicles. And we'll have the control right here for our power sunroof. I didn't talk about that earlier, but there it is. There's your power sunroof. It is a conventional size. Some people don't like that. It just depends on who you are. Seat memory for the driver's side. We will also find the controls for the side view mirrors, lock and unlock for our door locks and windows. You can lock the windows if you don't want anyone rolling the windows down. We can open and close both sliding side doors here. There's that additional button for opening and closing your power tailgate, and traction control is right there. There's your power parking brake if you're looking for that. That's where it's located. Drop the lever right here. You can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And our steering wheel mounted controls, adaptive cruise control. Over here on the right-hand side, you can control everything with the radio over here on the left. And you can also use the scroll wheel right here to work your way through different bits of information. If you want to go in and see something, you can do that. As you can see with the tire pressure, we hit the home button to the left of the scroll wheel to go back out to our menu screen. If you need to know which direction you're going, there's something that's very convenient to have as far as that goes. And something that has no neutral ground. People either like it or they don't. The push button shifter right here. As you can see, now you have your different driving modes. You have drive and sequential, snow and econ, depending on what you want to drive in. You'll also find your multi-view rear view camera that's going to come up on the 9-inch touchscreen. There's view number 2 and view number 3. And speaking of the 9-inch touchscreen, you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You can see that you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can scroll over a couple of screens here and get to different information, including cabin talk. If you really want to get everybody's attention, you can use cabin talk right there. That's actually quite an interesting feature that is available here on the Odyssey. And we'll go back here. We can go to vehicle settings. One thing to note right here that I want to show you in vehicle settings has to do with this feature right here, your power tailgate setup. If it's not opening when you go to open it back there with the power feature, it will always open manually no matter what. But if you're trying to use the power feature and it's not working, here's where you need to come and make sure power open by outer handle is on. So you have power and manual or manual only when that is off. But a pretty simple system to deal with as far as that goes. You've got all of your air conditioning controls here. Dual zone climate control, that's very nice to have. I love having physical controls for everything. Only heated seats here in the front, but it's better than nothing at all, I guess. I'd like to have the ventilated seats personally. Our cup holders and wireless charging pad, and here are the armrests that are built into the seats. Do you like those? Do you not? What do you think about that? Everyone has their opinions, kind of like that shifter and the center console. Quite a bit of space within the center console once you open that up. When it comes to driving the Odyssey, you might be surprised at how well it gets down the road. Plenty of power for what it is, and you're not really looking for a rocket ship, but when you need to accelerate up to speed, you don't have trouble doing that. As far as the driver's seat goes, there is a ton of space and a lot of adjustability built in. A lot of people asking about how tall of a person or how not so tall of a person, maybe not as tall, maybe 5 feet tall instead of over 6 feet tall, can fit here in the driver's seat. You can adjust the seat and the steering wheel to where you will have absolutely no problem. And so that's nothing to worry about where that is concerned. Everything is very easy to get to as far as your controls and features go, and easy to learn. I like that. And tons of space in all 3 rows. That's always a benefit. The technology very easy to learn and use no matter who you are. If you're stepping out of a vehicle that doesn't have a touch screen and you're saying, well, I don't have a choice, I finally have to get something that's new and I really don't have a choice with what I need a minivan and the Odyssey is what I'm going to choose. The technology here is nothing to be worried or scared about. You can learn it. Plus, you have all sorts of videos right here on YouTube to help you out with that. The gas pedal and brake pedal, easy to manage. That's always a good thing. One of those benefits of not having a turbocharged engine, you don't have to deal with any turbo lag or anything like that. For those of you that want a naturally aspirated option, well, this is definitely it. I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, come on, Honda, give us a hybrid powertrain. And maybe we'll see that at some point in the future as far as the Odyssey goes. But for now, this is what you get. Overall, I do find the ride quality itself in the driver's seat to be good. I haven't ridden in the second and third rows, so I can't tell you what that experience is going to be as far as that goes. But maybe some people can share that down in the comments section. And it's easy to see out of. That is something I like to have as far as any vehicle goes. Always nice to be able to see very easily, but keep in mind you have all those great driving aids and your blind spot monitoring to make it even easier. And there it is, the 2026 Honda Odyssey in the EXL trim level. Still reliable and versatile. While there are no changes for 2026, if you are looking for a minivan that can get a lot of things done in a multitude of ways, this Odyssey is something you should consider. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana for loaning me this Odyssey for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. Please be sure to subscribe and share this video on your timelines on social media. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.